Okay, so look, I know I say this a lot and it probably won't be the last time, but I think this may end up being the best or my favorite romance series of all time. Now with this, I genuinely believe that it'll be the top of the top for me because the way this series handles everything is just superb, bro. But yeah, out of the romance series, I think it can be over quintuplets. It can also be over Tony Kawa. Those are two of my favorite romance series of all time, right? But this series just does something like very different from every other series that I've seen, bro. This series is just an absolute joy to read. When you think of romance, anime, or manga, there's a few things that you typically involve with it, right? First things coming to mind to me are absolute heartbreak, slow burn, and misunderstandings. The heartbreak, of course, is, you know, it happens in typically every romance anime. For example, Hina getting rejected by Taiki in Blue Box is a really good one. Nino in quintuplets, or Miku in quintuplets, anybody aside from Yotsuba in quintuplets. And slow burn, I feel like we all pretty much know what slow burn is. And misunderstandings, they're in high school, so of course they'll miscommunicate sometimes, causing misunderstandings. But yeah, those are pretty much it, at least the first things that come to mind when I think of like the annoying things probably about romance anime. But my main point is this series doesn't really deal with any of that at all. And you may be thinking, well, there's no stakes in the series. I mean, kind of maybe right, but it doesn't matter because it's fucking good. If you don't want any spoilers at all, I think this for the most part is going to be spoiler free, but there's going to be some points in the video where I may like reference something and I will warn you before. But yeah, I have read a little bit of the manga now. After the first episode of the anime, I was hooked, so I think I'm above the anime right now, but I'm not sure how far ahead I am. So this series follows Waguri and Rintaro. There are two main characters in this story, and from the jump, I'd say pretty much I think they've been interested from each other. I mean, I could be wrong, you guys can let me know what you think, but I think from the very first episode they both are really like interested. Rintaro, he noticed her probably a bit later than she noticed him, but I still think they were interested in each other nonetheless. Every single interaction they have is either anything. Every interaction they have together is wholesome. It's just really good and fun to watch. It makes you feel happy. But yeah, as we all know, because I'm assuming you've at least watched one episode or seen at least a chapter of the manga, right? It's pretty much like a Romeo and Juliet story, which it is pretty played out at this point, but once again, this series handles that perfectly. Rintaro is from an all-boys school, while Waguri is from an all-girls school. Kikyo and Rintaro school, which is Chidori. In my opinion, I think the guys, like Rintaro's group of friends especially, they don't really care about the beefs between the two schools, but the girls, on the other hand, they look fucking disgusted every time they see the boys, bro. They look like they don't want anything to do with them. They want to call them slurs and shit. Like, it's crazy as hell. The girls, they're pretty much, I'm not gonna say they're pampered, but I would say that because most of them are just rich kids who got to go to a school. I'm referring to the girls, by the way. While the boys, they are in a public school. There's two different classes there, which is also another reason. Like, they're undignified guys, and then the girls, they're supposed to be prim and proper, if that makes sense. But Rinto and his friends are really good guys. Even though they're viewed as delinquents, they're really good, bro. They're just really nice people. Everybody in this manga is nice, just about it. Well, at least the main cast, of course. Even the interactions with friends are super wholesome, which is crazy. Like, I typically don't care about friendship in the romance shows. I'm literally there for the romance, like 9 out of 10 times, but this series handles that as well too. Like, you may think I'm glazing the fuck out of it, and although I am, I'm being completely honest. And I've been just praising this series like for the whole video now at this point, right? And you may be wondering, does this series have any tension? This guy is just talking about the greatness of this series. Are there any moments that are kind of up in the air? And you know what, that answer is yes. But they also handle that good too. They handle that part good too. If anything pops up like a misunderstanding or just tension in the group or with the plot in general, the cast of characters, they're so mature and they're just so understanding with each other. It doesn't really matter. It does matter. Okay, I worded that wrong. It does matter, but at the end of the day, they're gonna come together and they're gonna get past this problem because of how good of friends they are. And you know, that sounds kind of cheesy, but bro, I promise you they handled it so fucking good. Whether it's a small problem or a major problem, they're always gonna handle it together, and it's just refreshing to see something like that because it's over the top dramatic in so many shows or manga series, and in this show it's just handled to perfection. Without a doubt though, my favorite character is Waguri. Like, no contest, bro. You may call me basic, I don't give a damn. She's great, bro. She's good. It's almost every romance series that I've seen so far. I think that, like, the author will at least try to draw the female character in a provocative way. You know, just for, like, an illustration. Even if it's not in the main story. Which they typically do both. But for her, bro, I have not seen one single picture like that. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm sure, I don't know. But I haven't seen it so far. Okay, like she's literally just wearing normal clothes. I've never seen her dressed inappropriately or anything close to it. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with authors doing that, but none at all for this character so far. That just proves how good of a character she is. Like, she is so beyond her looks, honestly, bro. Don't get me wrong, she is eye-catching. She's a cute girl, but it's everything else that comes along with her that makes her such a good character. She is super smart. You know, she goes to a school where there is a whole bunch of rich girls there because their parents have to pay. She is there on a scholarship, so she has to keep her grades up, and she doesn't just keep the grades up. She is the top of the class every term. Every test she takes, she's highest in everything. Math, English, everything. So that's one good thing there. And she's also super nice and wholesome. I talked about her being wholesome already, but the niceness is a factor too. And also her eating cakes is funny as fuck. It's just really funny to me too. She is just amazing, bro. I think she's honestly, I don't know, I'm not gonna say she's my favorite girl yet because I've seen a lot of anime, right? But I did put up a poll on my channel the other day. It had Momo, it had Mai, it had Marin, and Waguri too. Waguri won with like over 100 votes on there, which is crazy as hell because she is relatively new. I think in manga and anime, like anime for sure she's the newest, but manga, I don't know which exactly came out first, but I'm pretty sure that's probably the newest manga of those 4 series as well. She's just really good, bro. I can't stress this enough about how good of a character she is. And I know I somewhat touched on him earlier, but Rintaro, he is a really good main character too. And when I say this, I genuinely mean this from the bottom of my heart. I typically do not like the male MCs in these romance shows, bro, because they are pretty mid. Probably because I see a lot of harems, and the harem MCs, they typically suck ass. They typically are awful. But I do think that he's at the top of the list. I really like Nasa from Tonikawa, and I really like the MC from Bunny Girl Senpai. Is it Sakuta? I'm sorry, I forget names because I see so many anime. Yeah, people describe Rintaro as a scary looking dude when I don't think he looks scary at all. They said because he has like piercings and he's tall and stuff. I don't think he looks scary at all. I think that's just like a myth. Like all the illustrations you see, he looks normal. He's just tall. There's no reason for them to think he looks scary, honestly. He's a level-headed guy. He's a really nice kid. And he is a son of 2 bakers. They own a bakery in this world, right? And with time, he's learning to like baking more and more. And the way that they talk about baking in this series, once again, I haven't watched the anime. I only seen 1 episode of the anime that I caved and read the manga. But he makes me want to bake cakes now, bro. The way they talk about baking cakes, I'm like, shit. Just like how Laid Back Camp talks about camping. I don't care about camping, but they make me want to camp, just like how this series makes me want to bake fucking cakes. It's crazy, bro. Lastly, this part may have some spoilers, so if you don't want to hear about it, skip ahead like maybe a minute or maybe a little bit less. But I don't think I've seen a series where the 2 main characters, the boy and the girl, get together this fast, bro. Like I think it was inside 40 chapters. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure though. Like That's crazy as hell. Like, typically it's 5 chapters in a manga or a few episodes in an anime, but bro, they did this fast as hell. If it takes like more than 10 or 20 chapters, it's gonna be a slow burn, or they're gonna not get together until the very end, from my experience. But no, every single chapter and every single, well, I'm not gonna say episode because I haven't seen it, but every single chapter, it feels perfectly paced. And this, bro, amazing, because when they get closer with each chapter, they learn more about each other, and you can see how they feel about each other. It's just, bro, I cannot stress this enough about how good this series is, bro. I'm so surprised. I have no videos on my channel talking about a series like this. They're usually episodic breakdowns or like manga breakdowns. But bro, I'm just literally talking like at the top of my head about how good the series is. So that should tell you some shit. This series is fucking good. This series is just awesome. I really need people to talk about this series with. I have a few friends that like this series. They told me to get into it before the series even got an anime. And I feel bad that like I'm just now getting into it and I'm gassing it up so much. I really, really need people to talk about this series. Everybody and their mom needs to read this series. If you enjoyed this video, let me know, because once again, I'm not really used to this kind of thing. I typically just edit. I don't really show my face or talk. If you liked the video, let me know. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you later.